Good morning everyone. Now today we are going to discuss an important concept, that is activity based costing. Now what exactly activity based costing is all about? Activity based costing is a system in which costs are first of all traced to the activity and then to the product. So as the name is suggesting, activity based costing, over here the focus is on activities, right? तो activities के ऊपर focus है यहाँ पर, and it's a two-stage activity, two-stage process whereby the costs are first traced to the activity and then the activities are traced to the products. So this activity based costing is far superior to the traditional costing system because it allocates the costs to the activity and then ultimately to the product. So activity based costing, it's a technique which is done in various steps. The first one is to identify all the main activities of an organization. Now the main activities can be classified into unit level activity, batch level activity, product level activity and facility level activity. So first of all you have to identify the main activities of an organization. Secondly, उसके बाद जब आपने मेन एक्टिविटीज को आइडेंटिफाई किया, सेकंड इज टू आइडेंटिफाई द फैक्टर्स विच डिटरमिन द कॉस्ट ऑफ एन एक्टिविटी. तो सेकंड स्टेप क्या होता है, आपको वो फैक्टर्स डिटरमिन करते हैं which are responsible for the cost of an activity. Now those factors are under the category of cost drivers. So those factors are termed as cost drivers. तो पहला काम, you have to identify the main activities of the organization. Second step is to identify the factors that are causing the cost of an activity and those factors are called as cost drivers. Thirdly, you have to collect the costs of the activity. Now these are called as cost pools, right? We will be discussing cost pools also in detail, but third is to identify the cost pools. You have to collect the costs of the activity which come under the category of cost pools, and finally you have to charge the support overheads to the product on the basis of their usage in the activity. So last step है, you have to assign the overheads to the product on the basis of their usage in the activity. So these are the main steps that comprise of activity based costing. Now we are going to take all these things one by one, but first of all, what activity based costing is all about. Now remember, activity based costing, it is an approach for allocating overhead costs. Now activity based costing is made up of this term which is called as activity. Now activity is an event that incurs costs. और अभी आपको हमने एक टर्म भी बोला था, cost driver. Cost driver is any factor or activity that has a direct cause and effect relationship with the resources. तो cost driver वो factors हैं which have a direct cause and effect relationship with the resources. ये आपको बताया था हमने कि ABC assigns cost to products by tracing expenses to activities. Then each product is charged based on the extent to which it is used in an activity. आपको ये भी ध्यान रखना है, the primary objective of ABC is to assign costs that reflect the physical dynamics of the business. तो इसका जो main purpose है वो होता है assignment of costs, and ABC system addresses the following main questions. पहला है what activities are being performed. तो आपका focus ही activities में कि कौन कौन सी main activities हैं which are performed in the organization. Secondly, how much does it cost to perform the activities. Thirdly, why does the organization need to perform those activities. And lastly, how much of each activity is required for the organization products, services and customers. तो आपको इन क्वेश्चंस को भी ध्यान रखना है which ABC system addresses. कौन कौन सी एक्टिविटीज परफॉर्म की जा रही हैं, उनको परफॉर्म करने के लिए कितना कॉस्ट लग रहा है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन उन्हें क्यों परफॉर्म कर रहा है, एंड हाउ मच ऑफ दीज एक्टिविटीज आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज एज वेल एज कस्टमर्स। देन ये आप लोगों को पता लग ही गया होगा कि एबीसी इज अ टू स्टेज सिस्टम where the costs are first of all traced to the activities and then they are traced to the products. So it's a two basically stage system. और activity based costing के अंदर tracing costs to activities, you know, that's the main step of identifying major activities that cause overhead costs to be incurred. Now some of these activities are related to production volumes like production runs, salary of supervisors and so on. Second step is to assign cost to products using cost drivers as a measure of activity. And cost drivers, ये आपको ध्यान रखना है, they represents the factors which are causing the costs. So they identify the linkage between the activities and cost objects. There are basically three main types of cost drivers: transaction, duration and intensity. Now we are going to look up at a diagram of cost determination, cost ascertainment, जहाँ पे डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट आप देख रहे होंगे, कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस। साथ ही साथ इसकी दो बाइफर्केशन है, एक तो ट्रेडिशनल कॉस्टिंग, दूसरा एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग। Traditional costing is volume based, allocation based, and activity based costing is based on cost drivers. Now these are the basic allocation basis और ये stages आपको बताए थे थोड़ी देर पहले। पहला है activities, मतलब आप main activities को identify करते हैं। दूसरा cost of activities, then cost drivers, and costs are allocated to the cost objects. Then level of activities, right? This was also discussed, which are unit level, batch level, product level and facility level. Now you have the unit level. Now the reason for performing unit level is that they are performed for each unit of product produced or sold. और इनके examples हैं cost of raw materials जो direct material में आता है, then cost of direct labor, utilities cost, cost of packaging, sales commission and so on. Then batch level cost. Batch level costs are performed for each batch of product produced or sold. इसमें आती है cost of processing order, cost of issuing and tracking work order, cost of equipment setup, cost of inspection, ये भी आता है। तो ये मेन बैच लेवल कॉस्ट्स हैं। देन वी हैव प्रोडक्ट लेवल। प्रोडक्ट लेवल को प्रोसेस लेवल कॉस्ट भी कहा जाता है। दे आर परफॉर्म्ड टू सपोर्ट ईच डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट दैट कैन बी प्रोड्यूस्ड। द एग्जांपल्स आर कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट, कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट मार्केटिंग सच एज एडवर्टाइजिंग, कॉस्ट ऑफ स्पेशलाइज्ड इक्विपमेंट वेयर बाय इंजीनियरिंग चार्जेस आर देयर, एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ मेंटेनिंग स्पेशलाइज्ड इक्विपमेंट। Then we have facility level. Facility level को organizational level भी बोला जाता है। They are performed to maintain general manufacturing capabilities. Now they come the examples, you know, which come under this category are cost of maintaining general facilities such as buildings and grounds, साथ ही साथ building depreciation, plant managers salary जो cost of general administration में भी आती है, cost of real property taxes. So these are all under the facility level costs, right? तो अब cost driver analysis. Now cost drivers are factors that have a direct cost and effect relationship to a cost. और इसी के साथ आपको cost pools भी ध्यान रखने हैं, right? This we can show with the help of a table, cost pools and cost drivers, जहाँ पर activity cost pools हैं प्रोडक्शन, और उसमें एक्टिविटी कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स है नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स, नंबर ऑफ सेटअप्स, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूनिट्स कंज्यूम्ड। अनदर एक्टिविटी कॉस्ट पूल कैन बी मार्केटिंग, जहां पर नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पर्सनल है, नंबर ऑफ सेल्स ऑर्डर्स, दे आर द बेसिक कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स ओवर हियर. देन वी हैव R&D, research and development, whereby we have number of research projects, personal hours spent on these projects, technical complexities. Then customer service, whereby we have number of products serviced, hours spent on servicing products. Purchasing में आते हैं number of purchase orders. And material handling, जहां पर आती है material requisitions. So these are the basic cost pools and cost drivers. और cost pools क्या थे? Cost pools आपको बताया ही था. You have to collect the costs of each activity. These are cost pools and they are directly equivalent to conventional cost centers. Right? Final step is assigning cost to the products. आपने पहला था मेन एक्टिविटीज को आइडेंटिफाई किया. दूसरा आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया जो कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स थे. देन यू कलेक्ट द कॉस्ट्स ऑफ ईच एक्टिविटी. फाइनली असाइनिंग कॉस्ट टू द प्रोडक्ट्स. नाउ कॉस्ट ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज दे आर ट्रेस्ड टू प्रोडक्ट्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर यूजेज ऑन द एक्टिविटी एक्सप्रेस्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ द चोजन कॉस्ट ड्राइवर. इसका एक एग्जाम्पल भी है, जैसे कि टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ परचेजिंग है रुपीज 2 lakhs और नंबर ऑफ परचेज ऑर्डर्स है 1000. तो अगर हम 2 लाख को 1000 से डिवाइड करें तो कॉस्ट ड्राइवर रेट आ गई हमारे पास 200 रुपीज. 2 lakhs डिवाइडेड बाय 1000 गिव्स अस रुपीज 200. सो द बैच जनरेटिंग 3 परचेज ऑर्डर्स, अगर 3 परचेज ऑर्डर हैं, एक कॉस्ट ड्राइवर जो आया है रेट आया है वो 200 रुपए का है, तो 3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 200 विल गिव यू रुपीज 600 फॉर परचेजिंग ओवरहेड्स. राइट? तो आपने देखा कि 2 लाख रुपए टोटल कॉस्ट है, 2 लाख को डिवाइड कर दिया नंबर ऑफ परचेज ऑर्डर्स 1000 से, तो कॉस्ट ड्राइवर रेट आ गई 200. अब अगर आपके पास 3 परचेज ऑर्डर है तो 3 को 200 से मल्टीप्लाई किया, टोटल आपके पास आ गई वैल्यू 600 रुपीज. So you have to remember these 4 steps, which are the backbone of activity based costing. Number 1, you have to identify the main activities of an organization, which are classified into unit level, then batch level, product level and facility level. Secondly, you have to identify the factors that are causing cost to an activity. Now these factors are called as cost drivers. Then thirdly, you have to collect the costs of the activity. These collection of the costs, they are coming in the category of cost pools. And finally, charge support overheads to the factors which are causing to the products which are on the basis of usage of an activity. So fourth step is to charge support overheads to products on the basis of their usage of the activity. So this was a general idea about activity based costing. और इसी में आपको इसकी कुछ advantages भी ध्यान रखनी है. Right? The advantages which are coming in the category which are in the activity based costing, कि activity based costing they help in reducing the costs. Right? They brings accuracy and reliability in product cost determination. पहला तो है they are reducing the costs. Number 2, they bring accuracy and reliability in product cost determination. Now ABC provides more realistic product costs. Reliability है और इसी वजह से they provide realistic product costs. ABC identifies the real nature of cost behavior. And that's how they help in reducing the costs. Right? Then ABC traces costs to areas of managerial responsibility, processes, customers, departments besides the product costs. Then ABC improves the decision making. ये एक बहुत important advantage है कि ultimately managers decision making को बहुत एक अच्छे level तक improve किया जाता है. So that's the great advantage of activity based costing. Now after that, it basically provides correct product cost data. Now, so these were the concepts of ABC, activity based costing, the main stages of activity based costing, the concept of ABC, the basically stages of ABC, and ultimately some merits of activity based costing. Now we are going to discuss some major practicals of activity based costing in the next lecture, that is going to clear the concept of ABC comprehensively, whereby we will be making use of cost drivers, right? So you will get to know the concept of cost drivers and ultimately solving the practicals in a very efficient manner. So we'll be continuing with the concept of ABC in our next lecture.